Okay, so yesterday's video was about Hu Tao, and I figured we might as well give her another showcase now that everyone complained about my build, and then also Fiorina, which was the Fiorina one was absolutely valid. I am working on getting Flev or whatever, but we can go ahead and we can give it a energy recharge sands at the very, or not energy recharge, an HP sands at the very least, which will increase our damage, 62, 154, and then only having 200% energy recharge. But we have Yale on here, so she should help out with that. Now, I'm not going to look at the damages right now because I would prefer to have Flev, because I do hope that I can get Flev before I do another, video for that. But this, team should work out very well. Let me go ahead and get my energy from somewhere. Yeah, this guy, sure, why not? But my Hu Tao build is basically the exact same, but now she is top 1.5%, because if we look at this build, it's like, oh wow, look at all that, and she's still on Homa, and she's on Image now, which is it's just the easier set to build on her. KQM says it is basically the same as Crimson, but it's easier to do. So basically my entire build is like 50 extra elemental mastery and then some crit rate, right? So that is basically where we're at here, and we're gonna go ahead and use Fiorina here, and we're gonna basically do the same numbers that we saw earlier, but we're gonna have Fiorina on top of our damage, which should be decently okay. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not that like, oh wow, let's see what Fiorina is gonna do. I'm gonna be honest, and HP Sands isn't really doing much. And I wanted to point out, C2 Shilonen, guys, is a huge buff for this team. A lot of people tried to downplay it, like C2 Shilonen isn't even that big of a buff. No, actually, you dummies, look at 45% HP, and then look at our two Hydro characters, how much damage they're doing. 45% HP is incredibly good. So stop trying to downplay C2 Shilonen's importance over here just because you see Pyro 45% attack and acting like, that doesn't do anything. Because yes, Hu Tao does have an incredibly low base attack, but it's not that deep. All right, let's go ahead and let's see what damage we're doing though. So we're already seeing some good damage numbers there, and then we can see through, of course, well, we hit that. I hate Hu Tao. I just hate her. All right, thanks. It's okay. So one thing I've been trying to do, all right, so apparently I need to do 8 charges is the full rotation. So let's go ahead and let's do that. So I'll go ahead, heal up and stuff. Apparently I need to do 8 charges. Now, like I said, I hate Hu Tao. I don't hate her. I just have no conceivable emotion towards her. Like, legitimately, this character is the most neutral ground I've ever used a character on, because I genuinely just do not care about her, and I'm more into Mavwika versus Arlecchino at this point. I've never really been a Hu Tao simp or a Hu Tao hater. It is purely just this character is what she is now. So I might end up doing just a damage number for the team here real quick, just as a one-time off thing. But eventually I would like to, get a, higher crit rate weapon for Fiorina there. And then she'd have 70% crit rate, which I don't think was an issue for Fiorina on the team that we did. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's do this. Hopefully this time we can, okay. Yeah, sure. All right. I'm not like a professional Hu Tao player. Also, yeah, the jump, man. She goes from doing 90,000 randomly to I don't know, honestly. A 90,000 to 120,000 in the snap of her fingers, bro. I do not get it. I genuinely do not get why Hu Tao does that. It makes no sense to me. I think, we did miss one. So maybe I'll go ahead and do a below 50% HP version here, just because, this version, due to the fanfare stacks that it can accumulate very fast, it can genuinely be very good. So let's go ahead and let's try this out. All right, there you go. Boom. And we'll have you and you and you. All right, let's hope that we don't see any issues here. All right, we did hit that. Only 50. Why are we doing what? Huh? Hello? Do you want a vape? What? All right. Well, I don't know what to say on that one. I'm gonna be honest. I just genuinely no idea what to say on that one. She just stopped vaping halfway through. I don't know. We can test on a different enemy. Because that was a suggestion, but, going into Abyss gives me lower level enemies, by the way. A lot of people didn't realize that, when they were suggesting to go into Abyss, and it's like, if I'm looking to, use this as further, data to sort of compare and stuff, and see how much damage this team is doing, using, you know, the Abyss is not going to be good. One, because the resistances are random, right? So that's just not going to be good. I don't know necessarily what the power resistance is on a lot of them, but I imagine it's standard, but it's also the level distribution is different. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to come over here and we're going to see possibly what our damage looks like. Hu Tao does still have some extra HP, so we'll see how well that works out for us. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll start off with this, I guess. So let's do this. Alright, so okay, not what I wanted to do, but whatever, doesn't matter. Should still be fine. Yelan, hello. Another thing with Hu Tao, man. I hate her charges, man. Like, I'm like, every single time I can get to do her charges. All right, there you go. All right, so that's it. That's all we had. I just said like, oh, it doesn't matter, but it actually does. It genuinely does. Let me go ahead and restart this, because it does matter that Yelan didn't. It does matter that Yelan didn't have Shieldon. So let me go ahead and restart this up just a bit. We were doing pretty good on that. And yeah, let's go ahead and yeah, just a little bit more there. And we will start our rotation off. Okay, let's start with the Q so we can make sure we're getting all the fanfare. There you go. Boom, boom. All right. Boom. Hey, charge attack. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but just randomly, it just stops charge attacking. Don't ask me. All right, there. And we're done. All right. Not that it stops charge attacking, but more that it just can't charge attack. Like, I'm holding down the charge, and it's not registering that I'm holding down the charge, which is very dumb to me. But yeah, that was top 1% Hu Tao. You guys can, I probably did the damage numbers this time. I might do it only for Hu Tao's damage. That's what I'll do. I'll just see only Hu Tao's damage, just so we can see what it was. I think that run was pretty good. I didn't see like any issues. It seemed very easy to do. These are probably going to be the two enemies that I use, because, you know, like I said, Capybara, like, a lot of people had an issue with me using Capybara, but like, you guys got to understand, it's not just the Capybara, it's just small enemies in general will have that issue, and a lot of people want to just disregard that issue because they love Hu Tao so much. Sorry to tell you, it's an issue that Hu Tao struggles with, and, you know, it's not an issue Hu Tao struggles with. It's an issue that Fiorina struggles with, and because Fiorina struggles with it, well, it's a joint issue because Fiorina causes it, but Fiorina is not necessarily the struggler of it because Fiorina is easily able to still hit the enemy in the air. It's sort of an issue with Fiorina, but it becomes a DPS issue because of how they interact with certain DPSs. It's very weird, but basically small enemy no hit that bad, basically. It happens with Xiao all the time too, and the same thing will happen with, you know, Hu Tao and stuff. But overall, yeah, this was very, very easy to, you know, do, and I do like this build for my Hu Tao better. I do, because now it's basically the same build that I had. I'm getting, you know, 15% charge attack damage bonus, as you can see right there. And all I'm really missing, like, you basically get rid of the second part of the passive here, right? And I do have a little bit of extra EM, which is basically making it to where this extra EM is kind of counteracting the effects of Crimson Witch, right? So the effects of this, whatever this is doing, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but it basically counteracts it to the point where I'm basically doing the same damage number that I did, like, I don't know, two times ago, like, whatever. When I was using my old build on Crimson, which had the lower crit rate, I'm basically doing the same build, or same damage now, but I'm critting 99% of the time, basically. 99.7% of the time. Very, very strong. I do enjoy that. Yeah, overall, that's my Hu Tao build. My new Hu Tao build that I have, you know, sort of rectified. And we also had Fiorina there, who was doing her damage. I didn't really, you know, look at it. I'll look at it in editing just for, you know, the sake of, you know, wanting to look at it in editing. But, hey. But yeah, I'll be working on getting the Flev for, you know, Fiorina, because I do think she probably can use it on this team. However, I don't know if I want to, because getting energy so Shieldon can heal your team is very, very nice, and being able to basically funnel that energy through Fiorina is very nice also. So it's a little tough to decide whether I want to get rid of Favonius or go for Flev. But Flev, I mean, we had 60% crit rate. We could get almost like 80%, almost like maybe like 77 or something like that. I'll know my crit rate and I'll go back and change my artifacts. But yeah, that is the new Hu Tao build, and she did okay. I'm assuming she did like 800 to a million damage, 800,000 to a million damage in the rotation. So yeah, overall, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.